Ooh. Little jazzy, freshy.
Ooh, I like this.
I love the first 10 seconds of our entire videos. That's just not talking.
Well, it's a new jam, and I just didn't know what to expect. But
I know.
Beautiful.
Producer Josh always brings home a little bit of a new kickstart for us. And speaking of new guys, we are introducing the newest member of NMLS. Yeah. We got Brie Fisher in the house on the team. We are so excited. Probably one of the biggest highlights for us gentlemen, right?
Yeah, I mean
100%.
Yeah, Brie, say hello.
Hi, everybody. So nice to be here very, very much. And thank you to Addison and Christian and Casey. It's my pleasure to be here, and I'm super excited.
Yeah, you don't need to thank Casey.
I mean, I'm just like that dead leg over here that hangs in the corner.
Yeah, we are so excited, and Brie brings forth just amazing perspective. How many years of experience?
22.
22 years of experience added to the MLO team, and we couldn't be more excited, right, guys?
I am super pumped. I mean, we've had a lot of different things happen this year. All of our listeners and followers have watched us throughout the year, but this is, I think, one of the most exciting times for MLO, bringing Brie to the team, because we're just expanding more good content and knowledge to give to you guys.
Yeah, more transparent education. And with that 22 years of experience, that's just getting more education out to our clients, our consumers. And we're just so excited to have you here. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well,
Thanks
what
for
I'll
having
say,
me.
too, a female perspective is way overdue.
I agree.
Our listeners are like waiting for that. Like, we're just tired of listening to these three knuckleheads. Let's get someone in here that actually knows what they're talking about.
Yeah, so keep us straight, keep us on track.
Right. I'll do my very best for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we had to move the beer pong table out of the office, but totally worth it, right?
We had to
guys?
clean up a couple of the fraternity things we had to let go, but we're ready. We're ready to
we
take
did
this.
bring in a wine and tequila bar, though.
There you go.
So we're okay.
There we go.
Brie
This is
came in
coffee,
with what we
I
needed.
promise. Coffee, compliantly speaking.
For closers.
No, I'm so glad Brie's here, guys. And we really want to instate kind of our mission once again, because we completed season 1.
Yes, we did.
Yes.
40 episodes, everyone. So
40, guys. 40.
And all those people who are watching and ain't listening, check us out on Apple and Spotify. You can get all of those episodes right there, wherever you grab them podcasts. So season 1's there. This is the breakthrough, though, of season 2. So we're going to lay out the introduction with Brie, have her be a part of the team here. But then we also really want to encourage people to continue to send in those questions, because we want to make season 2 tailored to current events. A lot of big stuff coming up in the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days.
Lots of stuff.
So we're going to tailor that in, and we're going to try to start integrating more of the audience questions, because usually we'll handle those outside of the show, but we want to bring them in. So we encourage everyone to reach out. Send us a message.
We're here for you, right? I mean, we love to do the show for just us four. We like listening to each other talk, but we're here for you. So we want to hear your guys' questions. What do you guys got going on? What has this year brought in your life, that maybe is going to affect your real estate purchase or help you with it? You got questions about it, shoot it over to our platform. You can put it on any comment we got, and then we will try to bring that in and engage you guys into the episodes, because we're here for you guys. So that's what MLO does.
Well said, Casey.
Yeah,
Yes.
Casey's on a great start for season 2.
Yeah.
Then he's checked out now.
And he's done.
And my job's done.
Oh, and I think, just to kind of summarize that a bit, it's, we want to customize the content to be relevant to today.
Absolutely.
And reinstating the MLO way is we are constantly creating an environment of transparency for people to learn, whether you're home buying, home selling, industry partners alike. MLO is the platform for you to learn, be educated, and for all of us to be transparent. So moving into that, the title of the episode today, guys, the heart and the soul, the 3 biggest mistakes when buying a home in 2020, because this is the year of years.
Yes.
And Brie Fisher, aka the mother of mortgages, is going to give us mama's perspective on the 3 biggest mistakes that you're seeing. So
Amen.
kick us off, hit us with number 1, and let's chat it down.
Yeah, absolutely. And thank you guys so much. I'm so happy to be here. You know, I come from a little bit of a background of teaching. My mom was a University of Oregon director of operations, and my dad was a professor. And so for me, teaching and explaining people the home buying process, just to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting into and be informed as much as possible, is just uber important to me. So definitely that's the MLO platform.
Love that.
To, you know, make sure that we're very transparent and giving everybody all the information we possibly can to make the best decisions. So one of the best things is, you know, tell us everything. So many times, you know, when you're applying for a mortgage, it's nerve-wracking. You're opening up your finances. People are pulling your credit. They're looking at your income and your bank statements. And sometimes it can be really scary to look at our histories, right? A couple years ago, if we had a bankruptcy or job loss or divorce, whatever it may be. And that can be scary to open up to people, even professionals, and let them know all of your financial business and personal business a lot of times. Sometimes I feel like we're almost like a hairdresser where, you know, we get so much of the information about people's lives. So one thing I always express to people is tell me everything. I can't help you and structure your loan for success if there's something big or even something that potentially is little that could be big that I don't know about.
That's a really good. What I'm hearing, guys, is the biggest mistake number 1 is people don't dish that dirt.
Yeah.
Right.
People are not dishing that dirt.
Right.
And I love the fact, Brie, that you're the mother of mortgage, right? So I feel like I've always had a good relationship with my mom, and I feel like I could tell my mom anything, whether that be small or large, and she would advise me properly. I think that is fantastic that you bring that into the mortgage world or just the everyday world with your clients. So you're building just that strong comfort zone for them, because guys, we do need to, unfortunately, know a whole lot of everything. Small mistakes or something that you're leaving out can play a factor into your mortgage or your mortgage process. So tell the truth. Don't leave anything unturned, any stone unturned, dirt under the table, right?
Right.
Be truthful. Tell mom everything. I love that.
Everything.
Tell mom everything.
Mama can't help if she doesn't know.
Right. I love that.
Yeah. You know, I had someone recently who was really nervous about sharing some tax liens that they had.
Do I feel a story time coming here?
Oh my gosh, story time.
Story time.
Sorry, interrupted. Tell us the story.
Love it. So, you know, they were very nervous. They didn't say anything to me about their tax liens. And you know, that's honestly something that we can't see immediately up front with the pre-approval part. So they didn't say anything. And then halfway through, they said, oh, hey, I have these tax liens. And we had to address it. It all worked out and we made it happen. But something like that could very easily derail your entire purchase or refinance process. So just tell us everything.
Yeah.
And we'll package it and structure it how we need to for success, or say, hey, we need these few things to work on the next few months, 6 months or so, and then, you know, you'll be ready to buy.
I think that's a great point.
And even if you're applying jointly, right, guys? Like if you're applying with your spouse, you know, sometimes your spouse might do all the, you know, the paperwork for you and you're not involved, but you want to make sure probably you're both on the same page. There's a lot that goes on, and you know, sometimes you might see liabilities or something come up that you weren't aware of. And so that's another big thing, is if there's 2 people applying, make sure, you know, you're somewhat involved so you're not out of the picture, right?
Should I share that one?
Let's share it.
So I had a couple who, one of the wife had taken several debts. Now, I've seen it both ways, either way. So this is just this particular example that I had fairly recently. So they got to the closing table and the husband did not know about all of the charge cards that had been opened and built up over the last 2 years. And so it was quite a shock to see $60,000 in credit card debt that he had no information about. So really communication.
Because we're going to find out, right?
We're going to find out.
That's right.
Yeah, guys. And it is showing on your credit, right? So, you know, you might not be aware, if you guys had some joint stuff going on, that maybe your partner is, you know, getting involved in. And so it's good to just have honest communication. Tell mom everything. Tell mom everything.
Well, I'd like to round that out too, because not all upfront dirt is that dramatic. So like, tax liens and, you know, maybe not disclosing debt to your spouse or whatever. Those are harsh. But I had a client who recently proactively told me like, hey, I purchased this bicycle. It was like, I'm not much of an exerciser, but it was one of those really expensive like Tour de France, you know, like
totally
really nice bikes, and they had financed it. But the applicant had gathered their loan documentation for financing that bicycle and proactively sent it to me and was like, hey, this needs to come up. So there's things on the back end that we needed to work with the credit company.
He gave you all the Peloton information. Was like, yeah, this is what I got. Here's my payments. Nailed it.
But just communicating ahead of, you know, things that they might have bought before they started working with us huge. And the MLO team allows us to build out a plan and prevent anything we can do from delays or even putting your approval at risk, right, Brie?
Right, absolutely. So just let us know anything that, you know, that you're dealing with or thinking about doing or concerned about, any other debts or anything that maybe not reporting on your credit report that we're going to find out on the back end somehow and need to disclose and address at that time. So, yes.
Perfect.
Yeah, lots of stuff. I mean, lastly, I do want to add this in. It is a little more of a dramatic example. There's been some interesting situations that I've had to navigate through recently with trust and title issues. So one thing to throw out there, if you've gone through family dynamic restructures, whether it's a divorce or you had family members pass away and you've been party to signing some trust documents to settle unresolved financing stuff, that's a huge impact role, because I had a particular applicant recently that thought they were a first-time home buyer, but didn't know the trust had moved title into their name temporarily, and we couldn't overcome the exception, which that dramatically impacted their strategy and my role, because we were disqualified from taking advantage of the 3% down conventional loan program and were forced to go 5%. So that's a lot more cash to close for the applicant. So just telling that story, I like to bring it more lighthearted, like a salon. You go to a salon and you dish that dirt to the stylist.
Yeah, you do.
I know, I do to mine.
I know. It's like, oh, totally. She's like, oh, great. Casey's coming in again.
Yeah. Right.
Clear all the rest of their appointments, right?
You might want to move the next chair over because this guy's going to yap my ear off.
Bingo. So dish that dirt. That's the biggest
Tell
mistake.
Mom everything.
Yeah, I like that, Brie. Grade number 1. And then let's transition to number 2. Keep the pace going here. I like where.
Well, the year's been crazy, right? So a lot of things have happened. We've had natural disasters. We got, country. We'll just call it country chaos stuff going on, right? A bunch of different stuff. What if you were on the fence? What if you've been waiting? What if you haven't made a jump yet? Should you be getting pre-approved? Should we wait to get pre-approved? Right. What is your thoughts, Brie? Give us that.
So listen, even if you think you're 3, 6, 12 months out, or maybe not even sure you want to buy right now or in the near future, go get pre-approved. Schedule a strategy session with any of us and find out what it takes to get pre-approved and not. Recently, I had a couple, meaning actually yesterday, I had a couple that was, definitely going to buy early next year, and pulled their information. They said, we're 740, 760 credit score. We have no concerns about buying, but we just kind of wanted to talk to you before we get pre-approved. Pulled their credit and they had a 580 credit score. And so, there were debts and things that weren't theirs. So we're going to get that cleaned up and taken care of, and they'll be able to buy here in a few months. But had they not done that and wanted to buy this weekend or found a home, that would have been a much more difficult, conversation to have. So the sooner you know what's in store, the better. The flip side of that is I had a couple over the weekend who said, we're looking at early spring and buying. Our lease isn't up until the end of December. And we want to, we're very nervous. We want to kind of know what's involved. So we had a full on hour-long Zoom session and went through all their finances and options. And at the end of the call, they said, "Oh my gosh, we can literally do this weekend, and this is a smart move for us. The payments within $100 of what we're paying in rent. Why would we stay, past November, December? We need to do this now." So it helps either way. But the sooner you know what's involved with the process, what it could look like for you specifically, you're just armed with that much more power.
That's a good point. There's a lot of people who say, and they defer a lot of agents and real estate agents with like, if the perfect thing comes up, but they're not willing to be prepared for it. And going back to the credit thing, though, I wanted to throw down really quick. that is a huge change just over the last couple of years, is all the different models in the credit scores, because it's dynamic and it's different whether you're applying for Air Jordans at Finish Line, if you're getting a Macy's card, if you're getting an Amex, if you're applying for an auto loan, if you're applying for a personal loan, a home equity line of credit, or the Olympics of credit that I like to call it, the triple whammer hard pull for mortgages. So there's a lot of different things out there where people are seeing these apps with Vantage score models. They're thinking they're 780, which really it's pulling more of a 12 to 24 month estimate from one of the three bureaus, and it's not even a hard pull. So it's not even accounting for the full spectrum of credit history, right, CK?
Yeah. So once we go through that process of doing the tri-merge credit reports, we could really sit down with you and dissect that credit report. And given that, we have 30, 60 days or 90 days to prepare you for that home purchase, we can help save you so much more money, time, concerns, give you that advantage when you're making that home purchase. Because when we're calling that listing agent and tell them how well qualified you are, we want to be sure that we have all of our ducks in a row. And that's a very important part of our process here at MLO.
Well, and Casey, I mean, the credit makes a huge difference on the terms and the structuring and the products, correct?
And I just get frustrated. I don't want to be frustrated with our clients and consumers out there, guys. But it's
what are you frustrated about, buddy?
Well, you see this all the time. Brie makes a good point. It's like they go out on the weekend, they find the house. It's like, yes, now it's our time to buy. We're put our pre-approval in. We think we're pre-approved. All of a sudden, crap, we can't buy. And the whole thing's kind of blowing up. And it's like, you guys are going to buy hundreds of thousands of dollars, homes. Like, don't you want to know where you stand financially?
Know the terms, the conditions, everything. There's so much more into a home purchase, and we want to prepare you for that, so that you're going in there very confident and knowing that, hey, I can purchase this home. I'm going to be the one that's going to win this bid because I know exactly what's going on. I'm educated. My loan officer has told me exactly what I need to do, how much I need to bring in. And that comes from all the different processes we take you through here at MLO.
And the frustration doesn't come from like, it's because I want to help the clients. I want to make sure that they're prepared, right, Addie, as we all do. We want to make sure that they know everything, because we do this every day, guys. Laws change, guidelines change constantly. We've probably done hundreds of transactions. And guys, I'm sorry, you've probably done one or two. It's wise for you guys to get advice going into this stuff, because hundreds of transactions, things change. If you haven't prepared yourself, you haven't bought in a couple of years, you should focus on trying to get pre-approved before you go out and shopping. I think that's the smart thing to do.
It's so true, Casey. And I always say, master your money, which sounds like this big scary thing, but it's not. It doesn't matter if you're making $14 an hour or if you're making $150 an hour. It doesn't matter. Master your money, know exactly what you have and what that can get you, and where you may need help with. And that's what we're here for. We sincerely want to make sure that you work hard for your money. You're out there and working hard and managing the families.
So true.
Trust me, Zoom with the children right now. I'm there. So we're managing so much as families and couples and people, and you're working hard. So we're trying to give you information that you can use to best use the money, so you can have a great balance of life.
Yeah, no, that's really well said. And to kind of bookend number two biggest mistake 2020 is not getting pre-approved. And I would like to just conclude with that. Everyone here at MLO has a service standard level where we're going to build out those spreadsheets for you, so you can see different options at multiple price points. Exactly based on the loan program that's best for you, the credit score, what your interest rate is, what your estimated cash to close is, what those closing costs and prepaids are going to be. And there is no guesswork. It is my personal mission for all of my buyers to go in before sending that offer over to know exactly what the range is and have every little question answered before, to the best of my abilities. And if you're working with an agent that's perhaps pushing you around not doing that, you got to just take a quick break, because it's in your best incentive or best advantage and interest to actually understand prior to putting in the offer. That's a big thing for me personally. When my wife and I bought our first home, we had a horrible experience. Didn't know I had no idea what was going on, and we bought the house. It's all worked out, and we still have it as an investment property, which is great, but no upfront. Don't be going in blind, because that's when you make bad decisions. And the way you start a transaction off the offer is typically going to be how it is toward the end. So
it's such an emotional transaction.
It's
not just transaction like going out and buying a loaf of bread or anything where you're like, hey, I want wheat, white, or 8 grain. So
potato.
Exactly. Thank you.
Potato.
So it's so important just to meet with your advisor and feel confident. There's nothing like going in there going, well, I really don't know what my payment is going to be on this.
Right.
I love this house, but can I afford it? Does it meet my budget? Does it meet my life balance? That was a great point, and that's what we want to achieve for our clients, just not push them all the way up into their max ability. Yeah, I want to give you that option to say, hey, if you got this, because everybody's got their own scenario going where they may have some ends coming in from other places, but we want to have those candid conversations. That's why that piece of tell us everything, skeletons in the closet, or good, bad, if you're going to make a job change or whatever it might be, just let us know that might come up in the next 6 months, because you may still be on the market looking, and we want to be prepared for you.
And there's no judgments.
Nah.
I mean, that's so important.
we've seen it all.
We have seen it all. A lot of us have been through most of it.
More to see.
So there are no judgments. We are here to provide you with the service and the information to make the best decisions for you and your family.
Right.
We're family, right?
Yeah.
And that's what we're here for.
Yeah, well said. And I think if producer Josh could throw in a little bit of the back music, this is a good time to let our audience know how they can get a hold of us.
And how we doing that?
Oh, there's a little special number we got. You can hit up at any time, guys. Direct message, email, whatever.
Yeah.
But the biggest used platform is that VIP number that I like to use. So who wants to kick us off?
I'll kick that off, and that is 503
847.
Oh, 90.
38.
Yeah!
Nailed it. And guys, it's so important too, because
Yeah.
literally I just had someone call in on this number yesterday and looking to make a cross-country move, just had some questions, and love the fact that her college daughter told her, get on Google, get on YouTube. You want to relocate to Portland? Type in relocating to Portland. Guess what popped up? MLO episodes. Got our number, called us right in. We were happy to answer their questions that they had, guys. And that's what the power of that number is. So give us a call.
Yeah, use it as a resource, and we are here to help you out. So it's 1 question, 2 questions. You need a spreadsheet. You need a second set of eyes, right?
Yeah.
We're there for you.
Absolutely. Anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going through a refinance boom right now. So if you want a second eyes on that cost worksheet that you're getting from any lender, that's what we're here to do, to say, yeah, that's a good deal. Or, hey, you might want to look at that APR, whatever it may be. We're here for that transparency.
I had a buyer call recently, referred by their real estate agent, and they said, "Hey, Brie, I've already pre-approved, but they pre-approved me for this amount, and it's hard to find a house at that amount.
Sure.
So how much more can I get?" So I asked for tax returns, W-2s, pay stubs, a whole bunch of financial information, and the response to me was, "Well, my last lender who pre-approved me only asked for my pay stubs."
Ooh.
And I just simply said, we cannot give you the best service, the answer, if we don't have the full picture. And, I've shared this story with some of my realtors and customers before, but, I had somebody who was making a straight salary with the state, but she had a side business of doing baskets, and she had been doing that for 11 years. And she made $28,000 a year doing side baskets. But the other lender didn't pull her tax return.
Yeah.
So they didn't see that there was additional
More
income that we could count to use, because it was a long-standing business. So we used that, got her the house amount that she wanted. But, the point of the story is when we're asking you for documents and information, it's because we really do a full strategy session to find out the ins and outs of how best to help you.
Yeah, well, that's a good story. Yeah, hidden income.
Yeah, can we use her for closing baskets?
Right.
Maybe? That's what I was thinking.
I'm
maybe.
thinking about it.
Yeah,
we got an angle there, guys. I don't know.
It's a really, really great point. Give us the full picture, and that really does tie together with the spill the dirt for number 1.
Yep.
Right, that's the biggest mistake. People hold back the skeletons in the closet. There ain't no skeletons. There's just the truth.
Get us everything we know.
everything we know.
Tell us everything.
Number 2 was what, CK?
Getting pre-approved, fully pre-approved.
Like that. Yeah. Christian's paying
Early
attention.
as
Find out.
possible. Yeah.
Find out.
Yeah.
And find your information.
Start the process.
Early.
You know, it doesn't hurt. Doesn't cost you anything. Just to strike up that conversation.
All right, Brie. So rolling into number 3, what do you say? What is that biggest mistake? What do people need to do? Number 3.
Number 3, know what you're getting into.
Mm-hmm.
So know your loan, know your terms. And that seems so simple. But I want to tell another story, if that's okay, because that's the best way I think to explain it.
Yeah.
Love story time.
So I had somebody recently who, was shopping between me and another lender, and I gave them a really great rate and fees, and I knew we were one of the cheapest out there. And they responded back and said, I'm going to go with so-and-so because they're, $2,000 less than you are. Mm-hmm. So I said, no problem. I understand. If you could just send me their estimate that they sent you. And I said, what makes you think that they're $2,000 less in cost? And she said, he told me so, but didn't actually have a strategy session with her to review the differences in our loan estimates and what those fees meant and what was not going to be the same at closing, what could potentially be more at closing or less at closing. So when I received the estimate from the other lender, they were actually $3,600 higher in fees.
Wow.
Like, huge. I mean, her cash to close was that much higher, and her monthly payment was actually a little bit higher. So what he had said to her was not accurate, what he was offering her. So make sure that you're looking through your documents, you're questioning your loan officer. Sometimes I, hear people say, Brie, I'm sorry I'm asking you so many questions. But I love that, because the more questions, the more conversation we can have to make sure that we're meeting your needs. And that's our entire point to this.
Yeah.
So, I went through and compared that with her and said, hey, look, he's actually charging you for this and this, and we don't have those. And she goes, but wait a minute, your fees are actually a lot cheaper. Why would he tell me that? And I said, this is why we want to compare and really know what we're getting into,
apples
the loan,
apples.
the fees, everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then, a lot of people just have different approaches.
Yeah.
We could easily throw other industry professionals under the bus, but we're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. Some people don't have the ability or the experience to understand. Right. I think one of the other examples, going back to, people just don't understand what product they're getting into. One example would be the FHA one, where it has its place and it's meant for a certain person, but you'll see a lot of competitors combating interest rate with program and not even disclosing that they're verbally telling you on the phone, my interest rate is X, point X, but it's on a totally different loan program, which has massive amount of fees financed in, and it might not be the right fit for you, something that we don't endorse. You got to look at that big picture, right, guys?
Yeah. And we're not going to jump down your throat, guys, with high pressure sales. And when you're feeling that, there's something I think to be said, if you're feeling that during a transaction, you got to get the offer in right now, even though you don't know what you're, qualified for, and you don't know your payment, but we got to get it on paper and we got to get it in. Like, don't fall into that, guys. And for us too, I mean, it is the biggest, if not one of the biggest purchases you are going to make in your life. You might make one, maybe you make two. Great. We've done hundreds of them. And we just want to make sure you're taken care of and you're prepared to buy this and you have all the right education. We want you to be more educated about it than we are going in.
Yeah. There's times that we just have to slow down our clients a little bit, right? Just slow them down. They want to make that offer before we've even seen your income docs or anything. They're like, I got your name and blah, 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 blah. We got to go do that. Well, let's slow down. It'll take, an hour for us to have a conversation before we can push out a letter. Let's just slow down, talk about strategies. The strategy sessions are so huge, I want to feel so good about the transaction that exactly what you're getting into. So product, knowing if it's conventional, FHA, VA, USDA, we want to go over all those options. Are you a first-time home buyer? Is there any down payment assistance? Is there any advantages, and I won't know that until I, totally look at your credit. So if you're out there with a pre-approval letter right now and you have not given over your income documents over to somebody, is that really a pre-approval? Have they scrubbed everything? So when you're making that offer out there, you want to go in there knowing that, hey, my loan officer has gone through all this stuff. When I actually sign my name on that offer letter, that means something, especially in this industry where me, Brie, and all these guys have been in the industry for this long. When they see our name on that, they know that that's gold, that you're pre-approved.
I would like to too kind of back that with, if you're in the refinance game, which is very popular right now with low interest rates. If you're ever speaking with somebody on the phone for the very first time and you hear are you ready to move forward? They're not acting in your best interest. They're typically sitting there trying to close a transaction on the first call.
Sure.
That's not advising.
No,
that's not advising. So just a little tip, right, guys?
Yeah. Great point.
Don't get peer pressured.
Right. And really, don't get peer pressured. Make sure it's the right decision for you and the right time for you. And, know your product. I had somebody recently that said, well, I want a FHA loan. And I said, okay, let's talk about that. What does that mean? Why do you think you want it? Well, I heard it's the lowest interest rate. Absolutely. A lot of times it is. Not always, but a lot of times it is. It is one of the lower interest rates out there for sure. However, the follow-up question to that is, how long are you going to stay in this current house? Right? Are you going to buy another house in the next few years or have any interest in moving? Because that's a whole other conversation, right?
Yeah.
You can have, the interest rate on a conventional loan, for example, might be a little bit more, but the mortgage insurance could be less. And you can get rid of the mortgage insurance, a lot faster than FHA, which is life of loan. So there's so many ins and outs there that having that full conversation, it's not just, just like what Addie was saying, it's not just, well, here's your interest rate and ready, set, go buy. It's let's have that full conversation of what does that rate mean? What's involved? What is the payment for that? And what are the ins and outs of this loan product? So if I want to sell in the next few years or buy an investment property or buy another home, what does that mean for me?
The timeline and break even on the savings versus costs associated to the rate and the terms is so important. And guys, we had a great episode with FHA last season, right?
Yeah. It's so transactional. It depends on the house and closing costs. And if we had the same closing cost credit, we can look at buying that, because it's 1.75 for the upfront mortgage insurance. So we can use that, kind of show you the strategies between the two, so it's very important to talk to us about which way you want to go. We're going to give you both options and we're going to show you the highlights and the lowlights of each product.
Casey, anything to add on point number 3 before we land the plane?
Yeah, no, I'm just going to drag it on for another 22 minutes, basically, is what I got to go. So here we go. I would say, though, don't, all great points that we've given you guys, at the end of the day, you want to make a decision that's going to be best for you and your family. If you feel confident that, one pay stub to a lender is good enough to officially, qualify you for $500,000 or whatever it is, right? Figuratively speaking.
Right.
Guys, that's your call. For us, we want to serve our clients better than anyone out there. We strive in this game to be better than the other lenders out there. We strive to be better client relationship people.
Raise the bar, baby.
Raise the bar. So it's, we're looking at it from one of our personal selves on how we conduct our business, but 2 guys to just have you be in the best situation possible. And that's just the bottom line. So if you guys want to know exactly where you stand, you give us a call. If you want to go out there and play with the pigeons and the doves in the air off of single pay stubs, then go for that. That is your call.
It's dangerous, though, and we don't advise it here.
We do not advise that.
So as we land this plane here today, guys, Joshua, thank you so much for all your hard work. Joshua, our amazing producer, and Kanoa, who is just awesome as well on the team. Does a lot of our photography for social media. Check it out, guys. Go online, be a part of the movement, be a part of the transparent environment, educating home buyers, home sellers, and industry people alike. Where, if you are watching right now and not listening, Casey, where can they hear us?
You can hear us on all your podcast stations. We got Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon. Pretty much.
They got
all
Alexa's got podcasts now.
Alexa's got podcasts.
We're on there.
And guess what? What do you say? You just say, "Hey Alexa, MLO."
I tried it. It sometimes works.
It sometimes works, but works 100% of the time.
Google Home does pull that through. I know that. We got that at our house. It pulls through. But test that out, right?
Yeah, test it out. And guys, we got a whole season 1 of 40 episodes to catch up on if you're just jumping in and listening to MLO for the first time, or just stick around because we're season 2 launching off.
We're
baby.
launching big.
And season 2, what kind of things can we look for, guys?
Right.
So much coming up.
So much coming up. We definitely want to engage you guys, the audience. So please send us questions. Please reach out so we can shout out you on the show and answer some stuff. We think that would be fun. At the end of the day, we want our industry people to reach out too. I mean, you guys know how to get a hold of us. Is there topics you want to talk about? Let us know, right? If you're relocating to Portland, Oregon, I don't think there's anyone better to call than MLO.
That's
So
right.
hit that up.
Yeah, we're out here on the West Coast, guys. Your go-to safe place. Brie, what states are you licensed in?
California, Arizona, Oregon, and Washington.
Oh yeah.
Boom, shika, boom, boom. So
Nice.
we're covering that entire left side of the USA. But if there's any other advisement you need, a safe place to talk to, someone just to jingle with, hit us on that VIP line. So let's roll that one more time before we say goodbye.
503.
847.
38.
And that is directly to the MLO team. So not only all of us at round robins and people that are part of the back end system will hit that as well. Our boy Scott Carpenter couldn't be with us today, but he says hello to everyone.
Yep.
And any other outs, guys.
Welcome, Brie, to MLO.
Thank you guys. So good to be here.
Season 2, baby.
Season 2.
Coming at you.
Like, share, listen, tell your people. And until next time, everyone, you have been listening to MLO. And we will catch you all later.
Yes, sir.
Everybody watch out. Everybody watch out. Watch out.